This video is about calibration. Now first of all, when you calibrate, you're basically calibrating the grinder to give you certain kind of taste. Now you can calibrate your espresso machine also by some settings of temperature, some settings of the pressure, all those things. But let's just talk about the grinder calibration today, alright? So grinder gives you good coffee or grinder gives you bad coffee is something that I genuinely believe in. Now when you're calibrating the coffee, let's talk about calibration of espresso right now. You can calibrate, you have to calibrate AeroPress, you have to calibrate manual brew, you have to calibrate the grind settings. But let's just talk about few things that will make things easier. Calibration is nothing but making such settings in such a way that will give you the best kind of flavor. That's it. Now what are those settings exactly about, or what are those parameters about? Settings are basically the burr or the grinder settings. First of all, how fine do you want to make it? How coarse do you want to make it? Now let's say my question is, can you just, when you're talking about calibration and when you want to learn about calibration, can you just say that I'll tell you that on EK 43, which is a grinder, it should be at 8. Does that make sense? It actually does not. I'll tell you why. Because my grinder setting is different, your grinder setting is different. So what I'm trying to say is, we cannot individually take the burr setting as the only factor that will determine the taste of the coffee. It has to be worked along with the dose that you put in, the output that you get out, and the duration in which that X amount of coffee is coming out. And it all depends on taste. So okay, I'll now break it down in an easy way. One, I've got my espresso machine calibrated, which is set. Let's say 93 degrees Celsius is the thing, 9 bar pressure, that's about it. I'm doing nothing to that. And now I've got a new coffee with me. I put it on the grinder, which I know, which I have. And I want to start off with the dose. I want a basic dose of 18 grams. Alright. Now that 18 grams from the grinder can come in like 4 seconds or come in 10 seconds. That does not matter. I want to start off with trying the coffee at 18 grams in and 36 ml out. Alright. So just as a 1:2 ratio. So I grind the coffee. That's in my portafilter. I distribute it, tamp it, and I plug it into the machine, press the button, the espresso falls down. Now usually, this is not a thumb rule, usually I am happy once the espresso drop starts coming out of the 7th or 8th second, and the espresso like 36 ml is pretty much coming out between 26 to 30 seconds. This is not a thumb rule, alright? But this is how I want to start working on a new coffee. Now whatever that, so I've taken 18 grams in. If it is not 18, I'll increase the time of the grinder. I'll increase the time of the grinder setting so that it will give you more coffee. And I'll change one parameter at a time. Plugged in, espresso down, I tasted it. I found it to be very sour. Alright. Let's say I found it to be very sour. Now what I'm going to do is, I've got 3 options. I've got a lot of options, but I can do 3 things. One, I can increase the temperature of the espresso machine. I don't want to do that. But I can do one more thing. I can up dose. I can bring it to 18.5 grams per basket or per espresso. 18.5 grams of dose. Or what I can also do is I can keep it at 18 but fine it up. Alright. Fine out the espresso setting. Alright. So these are the 3 options that I want to work with, and then there are a lot of other permutation combinations. Now second step, once I found out, I've pulled out my first shot of a new coffee, I've kind of found out it's sour or it is bitter or whatever it is. Now let's get on to the calibration understanding. When you move the dial towards a smaller number, you are fining up the grind size. When you are fining up the grind size, imagine it such a way that from rock it is becoming salt. Alright. And if you pour water over 100 rocks, the water will flow down quicker. If you pour water over sand, the water will trickle down slower. So that is finding it up, which means you are increasing the extraction time of espresso. It also means you are increasing the surface area of the coffee. It's very easy. All right. So now I am ready. Smaller the number, you're finding it up. Larger the number, you're coarsening it, or making it coarse. Now in this case, when I find the coffee to be a little sour, I want to fine it up. I want to fine it up so that the surface area of coffee increases and there's more extraction. So I'll fine it up. I'll again bring 18 grams in my portafilter as an input. I'll plug it in, I'll press the button, I'll see if it is 7 seconds. It will be a little bit more, it'll be 9 seconds, something like that. And I want to see how it tastes then. So 36 ml out probably will take more time, because if you fine it up, tasted the coffee, it's coming out to be good. Alright, that's where you stop the calibration. Now, had it been a case where the coffee would have been bitter, like super bitter, alright, I would have made the coffee a little coarse. I would have stuck to 18 grams itself, or 19 grams or 20 grams, whatever you want to be comfortable with, 18, 19, 20, however. I'll stick to 18 grams and I'll coarse it up a little bit, so I'll refresh this entirely. What has happened is, first time I'm using this coffee, taken 18 grams in, put the portafilter in, the coffee is getting extracted, the 36 ml are coming out after 50 seconds. Again, there are a lot of coffees which will taste good. This coffee is not tasting good. Alright. What I want to do is, now I want to coarsen up the grind size so that the water falls faster. Once the water falls faster, there is more potential sour or acidic elements that will be coming out more, rather than the finer bitter fine migrations. Alright. So what I'll do is, I've taken 18 grams and then I'll coarse it up a little bit, and then from that 50 seconds it has come down to 40 seconds. 18 in, 36 ml out, 40 seconds. I taste the coffee, it's fantastic. That's how you basically grind the coffee, or calibrate the coffee. Now the tips for this one is that the tongue tells. Alright, numbers will never determine what kind of taste you should like. Remember that. Numbers are there just for you to replicate the taste that you have liked. If anybody tells you that this coffee is coming in 40 seconds, this is a wrong coffee, please tell them to watch this video. But please tell them that's not how it is. There is no thumb rule of 20 second, 25 second, 30 second. I've seen coffees which taste really good on the 55th second as well. Like beautiful coffees. There's no question on that. So yeah, so that is one tip, that let your tongue determine what you want to taste rather than the numbers. Numbers are just for you to replicate it, write down the recipe and do it the same time tomorrow and day after and after that. Alright, so this is about calibrating the grinder, be it home brewing, be it espresso. There are a lot of people who found it a little tricky to calibrate and understand this. This is also a little bit of trickier video, but pause it, play it back again, pause it and watch it again. Share it with people, and if you have any tips about calibrating the grinder, please put down in the comment section below. We'll be really happy to hear that. Just please share, like and subscribe.